What is it like playing, I'm gonna say it's such a horrible character. I mean, does it weigh heavily on you, when you took the role?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it's funny, when it comes to fiction and while Underground Railroad is a created fiction, it somehow felt like we're talking about a fiction that deals with real life and no doubt all of the events in the show and in the book would have happened in some form. So there's a sense of it being tethered to a form of reality, and it does weigh a little bit heavier taking on a role of this nature. And I guess I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for Barry. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for the wonderful material. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for how important I think this story is and how tethered to today it is, unfortunately, in many ways. And I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for the fact that we at least get a window into the makings of a man like Ridgway. If Ridgway was depicted in the show as simply a person doing despicable things and we didn't understand the makings of him, it wouldn't have been maybe as interesting to me as an actor, but also it gave me something to look forward to as an actor that wasn't just about, I mean, we weren't striving to be able to sympathize with Ridgway, but to get a window into it. And why I think that's important is, today and over the last months, I've been watching news reports about people who I think their thinking is around the wrong way, white supremacists. And I often ask myself, you can't just look at them as a group and think of it as group thinking. All of those people are individuals who came to that way of thinking by some form of education that was outside of their natural upbringing as a human being. Somebody taught them ideas, an environment and an upbringing taught them ideas. And in this show, we get to see one person in the form of Ridgway and the etymology of his way of thinking and his way of approaching a worldview. But the violence, if anything, the violence, the physical and the psychological violence was the thing that I thought most about in approaching this, is like, am I able to do that? How do we do that on set to make it look real and feel real while looking after each other? And there's always an enjoyment in playing character, and I think that there was certainly a certain enjoyment of the challenge of bringing myself to play Ridgway, not so much an enjoyment in the day-to-day workings of the set. But I think a story is always hero, and if I was to take the role of the antagonist, I was still participating in the heroic nature of this entire story. So I did think a lot about it before I began, but the Barry Jenkins of it all made me feel confident